if you're anything like me, you've been seeing a lot of Maya seed takes root, whether it be on YouTube or Instagram. It is always in the form of aggressive advertisements. And no one's really talking about it. And I find this project to be rather suspicious on a number of fronts. At the time of recording, we have 3 days left to go. Doesn't really matter. Almost 2,000 people have dedicated $200,000 uh, towards a rather lowball $10,000 goal based on the sheer number of advertisements I have seen for this project. I suspect it's because they wanted a nice green banner that says 1,900% funded. It is also a project we love. So Kickstarter has signed off on this one. It says here as well that this is an all or nothing project. I suppose that's meant to instill goodwill, but as was pointed out, the goal is rather low for the amount of budget that has gone into this. I guarantee that all of the art and writing and the hiring of Hugo Weaving, who looks great, by the way. I like the beard. That would be more than $10,000. So there's something else going on. This is out of San Jose, California. It is also called Maya Collector's Edition Novel Trilogy, signed and numbered. Why anyone would want a signed and numbered collector's edition of a book and IP that no one has ever heard of is beyond me, but they evidently think it's going to be rather successful, and I suspect the powers that be agree. Let's take a bit of a look here. First we see this, an epic sci-fi science fiction fantasy with intricate world building, 6 species, 1 planet, 0 privacy. What does that mean? Enter the age of narrative warfare. This sounds like dog whistling for the culture war. This doesn't sound like a science fantasy passion project. Let's take a look here at the story, and there's a couple of weird things that get highlighted. So it's already slated for a New York Comic Con thing. And this little box here says, Maya Seed Takes Root is the first novel of a planned sci-fi fantasy trilogy. I don't know why they say sci-fi fantasy. I've always heard that as science fantasy, but okay. It's already a trilogy. I suppose they say it's planned, but I suspect based on the writing quality, which we'll go over in a little bit, this was mostly done by AI or just spewed out very quickly. You can throw a lot of money at a project, but that doesn't make it good art at the end of the day. On this Kickstarter, it is available in softcover, hardcover, audiobook, and ebook. Okay, excellent. The world of Maya is vast and intricate. It is a labor of love of more than 200 artists, scientists, filmmakers, and game designers from around the world. It's been handcrafted over the last 4 years. This is not something that has been pulled out of someone's ass. And this is not $10,000. This is hundreds of thousands of dollars at the very least, if not that is an understatement. At least it lets you read the book, although I'm honestly shocked it does because it's not very good. We see here really weird things. Secret revolution, post-truth world, probabilistic destinies, interspecies romance, neurodivergent protagonist. Um, Man, if that doesn't sound like globalist slop, I don't know what does. And this weird focus on truth and future sight, and this kind of, uh, as you can see, very Indian religious sort of cornering the market on this bizarre Indian fantasy aesthetic, I guess you can call it. It'll go over the plot here, and it doesn't really make any sense beyond just being human worship garbage, Hinduism chic. The Divya trials have been announced. Get used to silly words here. Billions will compete. One will ascend to godhood. So God is just a trial. You just anyone can just become God. That's good. In every future predicted by Maya's vast network, the outcome is certain. The Garuda Scion Tarkash will win. The Divya cannot allow this. So the Divya is the god. And there are cycles in this world, basically. And they will speak about all of this as if it's really complex. But genuinely, this is a Hindu, barely interesting fantasy world that has random, easy insert, we're all in a simulation kind of talking points. And it is a shallow anime tournament arc. That's really what's going on. It has multiple POVs. So you'll get all the POVs of this anime tournament arc, just like Naruto or something. And you already know who's going to win. It's not going to be this Garuda Scion Tarkash. It's going to be the neurodivergent protagonist, who probably will engage in a neurodivergent polycule with another species or something. Kashar has rehearsed the assassination 100 times in the simulations. There's like a tree, I think, that they mention that is the tree from Avatar, where you shove it in your braid and you orgasmically link with all of your ancestors. That's the simulation, as I understand it, from what I've uncovered, trying to piece together the insane obfuscations to make this sound like a brilliant story. Yache, a young Manushya, harbors a dangerous secret. He has never seen Maya, and Maya hasn't seen him either. Maybe he's neurodivergent and the main character, I don't know. The Hollywood Reporter is already on this. It's an eye-popping sci-fi fantasy universe. A billion-dollar cinematic universe disguised as a book. Yeah, that's true, Raymond. You are a top-tier noticer, my friend, maybe because you're a biotech futurist from Singularity University. Is that not the most dystopian sounding shit you have ever heard? This is, I mean, this is insane Neuralink globalist agenda insanity. I mean, this is that title alone is, man, Macaulay, you, Mr. Macaulay Culkin, you're doing a great job with that. That is the most sinister shit ever. This is how legends start and grow into the next Tolkien or Star Wars. Yes, they grow into the next Tolkien or Star Wars by getting shoved down your throat, poorly funded on Kickstarter to make it sound like it's homegrown, when actually they have shoved millions of dollars into this and are going to make it work, whether you like it or not. And they want it to seem indie because nobody trusts anybody in Hollywood or any of these mainstream media groups anymore. Here we go. A tree network capable of producing vivid, lifelike dreams. Complex emergent systems that are greater than the sum of their parts. This weird talk of emergent systems and things like that. It's just bizarre. The simulations, the dreams, and a lot of these words are just kind of associated with evil things. Uh, when I go over to the founders of this project, they talk a lot about game theory, which game theory is the language of sociopaths who want to manipulate societies and control the zeitgeist. And I don't trust any of this type of language. It is how sociopaths talk. There's some more nonsense about daddy. I don't know. Dadu. You have snake people. Here we go. This is Nancy Pelosi here. You have BIPOC lesbians with weird cocoon babies. The Tarkash. These bird people. How cool is this? You have living mold. Screen Rant has been paid to yap about this. Ape people. That's a little offensive. I mean, who could they be representing, you know? Nah. I mean, it's nonsense. It's just nonsense. Nag or nog. I don't know. I feel like I shouldn't say nog. I feel like that, but it's supposed to be like naga, I guess. I don't know. Very creative. They're holding apples, or is that a forbidden fruit there? And their weird ladle tail. The Maya narrative universe. This is kicking off I can't highlight this. The sprawling narrative universe of Maya, unfolding across novels, films, games, graphic novels, toys, and immersive experiences. I guess VR? I don't know what that means. But this is already, the money has already been spent on this stuff. This is the next IP that they are trying to spawn from the ether and make work. And it is all bizarre Hindu globalist stuff that will have a ton of aftermarket support and foreign support from Indians. And this is not a coincidence that this is happening right now. This is like Indian propaganda here. They've already got a board game going on. Again, the billion-dollar cinematic universe. World building at the highest level. It's really not. More than set up for a big traditional American film. He's a veteran Hollywood guy. Yeah. I mean, if it's not obvious enough, you know, it's just so clear that this is not two nice Indian entrepreneurs. This is all planned, and it is trying to cater to this hipster, liberal, globalist audience, and it'll make money here in the States, but really it's about sending a message. It's not about the money, it's about sending a message, right? Uh, and they will make back their money in India. So all these people who say, well, surely Disney and Amazon and all these people with the rings of power and all this stuff, I mean, they spend $1 billion on the rings of power. They thought that it was going to work. And maybe that's true. But also, I would say perhaps they knew it wasn't going to work in the States. But they want to send a political message to the people in the United States, which is the most influential country in the world. And then they're going to actually make their money back through Chinese markets and Indian markets. So they don't actually care about making money in the United States, I don't think. I don't think that's their number one goal. That's why even after a decade, they are still making these terrible political films that are just slop. So Anand Gandhi, I presume just a coincidence of a name. I don't know if he's related to the world's most famous pedophile, or I should say, world's most beloved pedophile. I think Epstein has taken the fame away from Gandhi with the next generation here. But look into Gandhi. He was not a very good man. He did a lot of naughty things. That Gandhi, that peace-loving Gandhi. He has ushered in a new wave of Indian cinema. Indian slop? Almost like there's a billion people crammed into one country, and you can just cater things to them after getting US funding, and they will just gobble it up, and you'll make all your money back? I mean, pretty genius from a money-making perspective. He's won a bunch of awards. He's done films that no one has ever heard of. And he's produced games, VR experiences, documentaries, and shows. Many of them acquired or distributed by Disney and Amazon. Netflix, who cares? BBC and Channel 4, some of, if not the most left-wing mainstream media conglomerates in the Western world, so that's good. His work draws from cognitive biology and game theory to reimagine how stories can shape beliefs, rewire behaviors, and impact change. This sentence is the most bald-faced thing I have maybe ever seen. It is a blatant admission that he is a weird sociopath who specializes in manipulating populations That is not normal. Cognitive biology, if you don't know, it does have some roots, as in, genetic behavioral patterns in animals and things like that. But behavioral adaptations are a real thing. But in the context of human psychology, it is immensely sinister. And game theory is how to be a sociopath and manipulate the global economy and the global zeitgeist. You have Zane Memon, who is also an Indian gentleman here. He is a games designer and transmedia creator pioneering South Asia's modern tabletop renaissance. Whenever they say South Asia, they mean India, by the way. His political strategy board game, Shasan, I don't know how to say that, is India's most played modern tabletop game. I have never heard of this. I love board games. I have never heard of Shasan. Sorry. It has won Indiecade's Social Impact Award. Who gives a shit about the social impact of a board game? That's not what they're made for. They're made to be fun. And it's reached players in over 70 countries, but mostly India. He spearheaded India's first VR journalism platform, partnering with UN, Oxfam, and Amnesty International. He produced the internationally celebrated documentary, An Insignificant Man, and Disney Plus sci-fi comedy OK Computer. So he's also associated with Disney. Nice. He led the world's largest open source film project, making Ship of Theseus freely available and setting a precedent in community driven film distribution. I've never heard of this film. Enlighten me, I guess. I don't know. And again, he's produced films, VR, and games distributed by Disney, Prime Video, BBC, Netflix, Hulu, Channel 4. Very good stuff. His projects combine philosophy, science, and art to explore how stories shape beliefs, rewire behavior, and influence society. So, I suppose to end this, we'll explore the book itself. They give you 108 pages. Very generous of them. Each choice in your life has led you to this moment. You stand before two pawns. One reflects your unvarnished self, every flaw laid bare. Couldn't be me, must be somebody else. The other shows the person you aspire to be, but can never become. One quenches your thirst, but only partly. The other makes you forget your thirst entirely until you die of it. Yeah, okay. Who cares? The people of Ne converse in various tongues. Who cares? This is a weird sentence. What you read has been translated into your earthly English to account for the accident of birth and history. The accident of birth and history. Either that means absolutely nothing and is trying to sound profound, emphasis on trying, or is bizarrely sinister in the context of talking about Earth, our beautiful blue sphere and the only source of life in the galaxy. That's nice. We're an accident. Some names and concepts have been rendered in Sanskrit to preserve nuances that might otherwise vanish in the brunt vessel of English. Sanskrit is better. Yes. English is a wretched language. How nice. How nice of them. Hey, you know what? Why don't you just render your whole book in Sanskrit and stay out of our country and stop begging for money on Kickstarter that no Indian is giving money to? How about that? How about you just politely fuck off back to wherever you came from? Okay, well, I know where you came from. India. The great Divya Jaya has abandoned her corporeal form and merged with Chaitanya, the eternal swarm. Her seat in Divyalok now stands empty. Trials have been declared across Naya to select the next Divya. Billions will compete, one will ascend. This is an anime tournament arc. It's not that clever. Kashar flicked his forked tongue. There she was again, the little girl who we open up strong with a demon, a snake demon searching for a little girl. Wow. And this is some excellent pretentious writing here. Though again wasn't quite right, he thought. Again implied something happening once and then happening once more. This was the same place, the same moment, just a different could be, and it wasn't really happening. Okay, so don't mention it then. Don't mention anything. I just delete this chapter. Why not? Surely the great Divyas had a word for it. The first few times Kashar died, the implosion had caught him mid-slither. Now he kept his distance from where the scooter would crash, far down the market's cliffside terraces. You never get used to dying, no matter how many times you wake up from it. I mean, it's so bad. It's so bad. This is something that I would have written in middle school. My stuff was cooler in middle school. All of my D&D nerd stuff where I was just writing about dark elves is it was cooler than whatever this was. This just like edgelord. I mean, you can imagine him. He in the movie he slithers up and he looks at the camera and says, "You never get used to dying." And he starts slithering away. I mean, it's just nonsense. And then we get this little thing here. At least they bothered to hyperlink. Divya, Zvanka. Okay. I don't what does that mean? Location, title. Okay, so Zvanka is a godly title, I'm assuming. I don't know. And a mortal, powerful being who presides over all Zvanka life on Ne. So is Zvanka a race? Furson is a concept, the Rakshasi art of extrapolating information based on context. I don't know if this is a novel idea to Indians, but extrapolating information based on context is that's an ability that white people have, believe it or not. We can extrapolate information based on context. I know that's really crazy, but wow, that is that's I haven't seen this before. I mean, that's funny. That's not an art. That's just something people can do. Are they trying to imply that it's some kind of Sherlock Holmes vision? Shit. I don't know. Anyways, this is nonsense, and it's already made, I think, an extra $1,000 since I've been yapping. Just keep an eye on this, basically, because this is not going to be the last time you've heard of Maya. It's going to be more books. It's going to be more video games. It's going to be a board game. It's going to be toys. It's going to be movies. And hopefully I'm wrong. I mean, 200,000 is actually really terrible for the amount of money that they've already put into this. But we will see. We will see. Just keep an eye on this. Uh, Hugo, I absolve you. I don't think you know what you do. Maybe you do. I don't know. But I suspect man has just gotten his paycheck. That's probably more than $10,000. And he has put on his headphones and he's gotten into studio and started reading his audiobook, which, by the way, people don't professionally record audiobooks with a physical book. They have readers and Kindles and stuff. That's why you don't hear page flipping when you listen to an audiobook. So, this is a set. Also, it kind of looks like he's standing. So, I feel bad for him. He's if he had to record the whole book standing, leaning over, and he has to lower the book to flip the pages because the pop filter or whatever you call that is blocking the the paper. Man, that would suck. I hope not. I hope I hope they gave him a chair and a Kindle at the very least. But anyways, thanks for humoring me. God bless and good night.